What's up, family? Welcome back to the Stop Sinking Show, where we go from struggle to flow. It's probably not the first time you're hearing this, but your words have power. What you say comes true. So be careful of what you say. So while you might have heard this before, I was told this through the lens of some mythological stories in the Hindu religion. And I found that it makes it hit another deeper level of undeniable in me. We were having a prayer for my father on his birthday, and I sat with the priest, who we say Pandit, afterwards, and we were talking about these things, and he told me this story. If you know anything about the Hindu religion, you know that even though we still believe there is one God, there are roops or forms that God takes to show us that divinity is in everything. So there is a God of creation, a God of destruction, a God of money, God of strength, and relevant for our topic today, a God of speech. This is where the mythology comes in, like the Greeks. This story is in the holy text of Ramayana. It is a tale of a demon named Kumkaran and a goddess of speech named Saraswati. I'm going to mention some of the Hindi words because they are important to the story. The word demon is Rakshas in Hindi, and there's more than one Rakshas, multiple demons. Just like the different gods represent all attributes of divinity and everything, the demons exist to exhibit the sins. This demon, Kumkaran, was the brother of another powerful demon named Ravan. He was depicted as a massive, powerful force who had a voracious appetite and tended towards sloth, representing, obviously, gluttony and sloth, one of the cardinal sins. Now, in the story, the demons also prayed to the creation god, Lord Brahma. They would do intense meditations and pay penance in hopes to earn favor from the creation god, Lord Brahma, all in hopes to receive a blessing. His intention was to ask for something formidable. What he wanted was to ask for the word Nirdevatam, which means the annihilation or absence of gods. In other versions of it, it's also understood as asking for the seat of the king of the heavens. He wanted dominion over all the gods. He wanted to disrupt the cosmic order. Disturbed by this, the current gods who sat at the top, Indra, went to Lord Brahma to ask for his help. The Lord then sought the help of Saraswati, the goddess of speech. And when Kumkaran, the demon, was presented the opportunity after all of his prayer to ask for his blessing, which the Lord would be compelled to grant, as he opened his mouth to speak and make the ask, the goddess Saraswati sat on his tongue, or tied his tongue, causing a slip in pronunciation. Instead of asking for Nirdevatam, which would give him dominion, he uttered Nidravatam, which is a state of perpetual sleepiness. And because Lord Brahma is bound by the rules of blessings, which must be granted as spoken, he gave him the curse-like blessing of eternal sleepiness. And so the epic goes, Kumkaran was known to sleep 6 months at a time, wake up for a day, eat like a madman, and then go back to sleep. And this obviously then weakened him from the powerful force that he was. Let's talk about this story and all the thoughts that it brings to my mind about how to live. First, it was the goddess Saraswati who chose and decided when and where to sit on the tongue, which made me think about how we have no idea when and where what we say is coming true. Speech is always potent, and divine influence can twist it unpredictably. So vigilance is required at all times. There are other stories in different Hindu texts that also deify speech, the power of the word, where language is not merely communication, but a divine creative energy that must be harnessed and treated with respect. The goddess literally says in the hymn to speech, I am the queen, the gatherer up of treasures, the knower of Brahman. I breathe forth like the wind, giving form to all created worlds. JP even says we configure the world through our speech. You bring chaos into order with your words. You give structure to the world, reestablish what has fallen apart through speech. The world around us takes shape, is created through the words that we utter. Just like the demon's misspoken words decided and shaped his fate. It is said that the words have inherent potency, the burst of meaning from sound, and can invoke cosmic forces. Once uttered, they manifest, often with divine amplification. Your speech binds your karma. What you say comes back. What is coming through is coming true. This is why one should speak the truth, for nothing else can prevail and stand the test of time. Your words themselves are a prophecy and reinforce themselves into creation. Aristotle said the tongue is the worst part of a bad servant. How if you have no internal demand for an ethical life, that your speech can poison relationships and opportunities. Confucius said, without knowing the force of words, it is impossible to know more. Your words can uplift and manifest growth or slumber and destruction. There's a whole discipline of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, that highlights the suggestive power of words in shaping our perceptions. How simple reframing can lead a person somewhere. Literally in the words, neuro-linguistic programming, you can program your brain through speech, through what you repeat. And if you want to know what program you are currently running, just look at the words you use often. How often you say, I can't. How often you take away your own power through your own speech. How often you hurt yourself and hurt others through what is carelessly verbalized. It is said that words like arrows cannot be recalled, urging us to be humble and to be positive and to avoid self-inflicted sleep, self-reinforced ignorance, self-sustained inertia. Maya Angelou said, words are things. Someday we'll be able to measure the power of words. I think they are things. They get on the walls. They get in your wallpaper. They get in your rugs, in your upholstery, and on your clothes, and finally into you. Speak as if the goddess is always present. Infuse your words with intention, care, kindness, and truth. Not only will this benefit your standing in your relationships, but more so with yourself, in your own personal growth, in your own goals. In the eyes of the Lord, we are always in his court, in ask and in receipt of a blessing. What we say must be expressed carefully at all times. You never know when what you casually uttered becomes your ill-fated, cursed blessing. Your awakening starts with your tongue. I love you, family. Stay true always. I see you on the next show.